Hello, and you guys, welcome back. It is another Tuesday, another Bolder, Better, and Wilder Tuesday. I am back on live. I am so excited to share with you guys what's been on my heart today to share. But first, I want to ask how you guys doing? How's everybody doing? How are you feeling? How has today been for you? I can say for me, today has been a day filled with craziness. You know how something goes the way that you thought it was supposed to go, but it doesn't really quite work out the way that you thought it was supposed to go? That's kind of how my day has been. It's like it sort of worked out, but it didn't quite. So that's what kind of day I'm having. However, I still am having an attitude of gratitude, and I'm very grateful for just being able to do the things that I have been able to complete today that have worked out the way that I wanted them to. But I wanted to come on live and just, like I said, the next Tuesdays I will be on live at 7 p.m. for Bolder.Better.Wilder Tuesday nights. Just coming on live, sharing with you guys a few snippets of my book that's coming out, Bolder.Better.Wilder. If you have not already pre-ordered yours, go ahead and pre-order yours now. Hey, Maya. Go ahead and pre-order yours right now, you guys. Pre-orders are still open. I will be closing the pre-orders down soon. So if you don't have your copy of your Bolder.Better.Wilder book, you might want to get it now. But one thing that I am talking about today is about how we are multi-faceted people, right? We have a bunch of different sides to us. We have a bunch of different personality traits, right? I know for me, I talk a lot about how if you sit with me 2, 3, maybe even 5 minutes, what you're going to see from me is something that is consistent with anybody who sits with me, that they see. You will see the anointing on me. You will see that I am goofy. You will see that I am silly. I am always trying to have a good time. You will feel my energy. You will see hey Maya, you will see the positivity. I'm probably going to make you laugh. If you sit with me too long, we're going to have a good time, right? But those are the different aspects of me, the different sides of me. I know I spoke last week about how I'm this very, very sweet person. I'm caring. I'm loving. I have a huge heart, so I'm going to hold it down for you. I'm going to look out for you no matter what. But also, it can be knuck if you buck if we have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different pieces to us. And so one thing that dropped in my spirit today when I was thinking about what I was going to share is the fact that women, and I mean women because I'm speaking from my perspective, women who were raised religious, right? I grew up in the church. My mom was a minister of music. If you've, seen my lives, if you've ever, followed my journey, you know that I grew up in the church. I grew up as a Christian woman. Hey, April. I grew up as a Christian woman. So growing up in the church, you have these different expectations that they want you to live by, especially me being the child of the minister of music. And one of them is to simply walk in it and talk it and act as if, you are walking and trying to be closer to God, to Jesus, right? This is your walk with Jesus. And so what happened in the process of me doing my walk and trying to be godly and holy and follow through with those different expectations of me is that I kind of lost the other parts of me. I lost those parts that are sexy and fun and, high energy and super feminine and just all these things. And I struggled with balancing out who I was at church opposed to who I was just all the way all together and when I walk through my day. And I don't know if anybody's ever struggled with that. If you've ever struggled with having to be one way here and then another way here, right? Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's not church. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's when you're around certain friends. Maybe it's when you're out and about at the store that you feel like you can't be who you normally would be inside your house. That you can't be and you can't represent yourself in that way because, you think that is too much, or, oh man, they would judge me. They would think it's crazy. And I dealt with that when I was growing up in church. I dealt with a lot of judgment because I felt like I was just a little different. I was, a little live. I talk to my friends all the time about being a woman of God and what that looks like, but also recognizing that I do have flaws and there are things that I do that, may not be seen as a woman of God. And so I talk about that all the time, and I talk about how it was so hard for me to find this balance of just being. Just being. Be who you are. Recognizing that you have all these different beautiful parts of you that make up who you are. And maybe that is that you're anointed and heavily spiritually gifted. And you have all these wonderful things when it comes down to the house of God. But also you're goofy. You cut up a little bit. You might be a little messy. You might, do a little too much. You like to drink a little bit. You like to, it may be a bunch of different things, right? That make up who you are. And I had to learn the hard way to just simply be me, to just show up and be Brittany. I can't be anybody else. I can't fake and be one person when I'm at work and another person when I'm at home and another person when I'm with my daughter and another person when I'm with my friends and another person when I'm with my sorors and another person that's exhausting, you guys. The amount of energy you use trying to cut off these different parts of you when you're in a different environment is too much energy. And that's why sometimes when you go to the party or you go to this event with these people or this event with these people, you're exhausted by the time you're done hanging out with them because you've had to fake the funk. You've had to show up as the super anointed Brittany. And that's all it is when there's so many other parts of me, right? So it's like you had to show up as this one person because that's the environment that you're in, but you're forgetting about all these other parts and you're shutting that part off. And it is so exhausting. You are using up so much energy to stop these true parts of who you are, to be somebody who you're not fully. That's just one part of who you are. You are speaking nothing but the truth. Yes, Maya, tired of it. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Listen, I used to have to show up a different way as a teacher when I used to go to work and put on my professional, especially when I worked in Gwinnett County, okay, because that's a different kind of anybody who works in Gwinnett County, it's a different kind of environment. Let me just say, it's different. It's a different kind of environment, probably the most different environment that I've ever worked in as a teacher thus far. And it was challenging because I felt like I had to code switch a lot. I felt like I had to be and show up and be somebody that I wasn't. And that's not congruent to who I am. And I was exhausted every day leaving work. And it wasn't just, it was definitely a lot harder. I'm not going to lie. That's one of the harder counties. Any of my teachers know who are Gwinnett County teachers, public school teachers, bless your soul. Because it's a lot. They have a lot of expectations for you guys to do a lot of extra things that a lot of other counties aren't doing. And I know that because I've been hired in other counties and worked in other counties, and it's nuts what they have you guys doing. Anyways, let me get back to it. But there was, listen, times where I felt like I had to act this certain way simply because I was in this environment. And what happens at the end of the day is that you're not being congruent to who you are and you're struggling. You're struggling with having to fight off all these other aspects of your personality. You're struggling with having to shut it down and be a person who you're not. And it takes so much energy to do that when you can just simply show up and just be yourself and be authentic to who you are. My mentor, she always says, God does not show up for who you pretend to be. He shows up for who you truly are, right? He shows up for who we truly are. How we walk out here each and every day. It's not the pretend us that he's showing up for. He's showing up for the people who are actually being who they are in every single environment, in all the environments. Because guess what? Once you feel comfortable enough to be that person and to show up and just simply be you, you'll understand how much more peace you have in the midst of that. You'll have so much more peace. You'll be calm. You'll have more energy, right? Because you're not, oh, let me stop doing this because that's too much. Oh my gosh, let me think about it. I can't be too loud. I can't be too ghetto. I can't be too, whatever your too much is, I can't be too much of that because here I am in this environment with these people and ooh, they're going to judge me. They're going to talk about me. No, just simply be, show up and be you. God made you that way for a reason. So show up and be you and shine those parts of you. And a lot of the times what I noticed, you guys, it was when I started walking into who I was authentically, that's when I started attracting all these people who were meant to be in my tribe. I started attracting good friends, good-hearted people, people who were just like me, people who you may be anointed and got the gifts of God, but I cuss a little bit. My bad. Sorry, God. You know my heart, right? I ran into people who were similar to me. I ran into the people who were part of my tribe. I ran into the real people, the real deal people, not the people who's faking the funk, not the people who say they're godly but act so nasty towards other people, not the people who claim to be your sister, who claim to be your friend, your sister, but they sitting here talking about you behind your back. No, I attracted real people, real genuine people who were real just like I was. When I showed up and when I was real and when I was authentically me. That's when I attracted the real friends. That's when I attracted the real sisters, the real sorors, right? Because I'm in a sorority. The real sorors, the real sisters, the ones who I was meant to connect with. And you're not going to attract those people walking and half-stepping and being too afraid to be the real you because you're too afraid that somebody's going to judge you. You're too afraid somebody's going to talk about you. Let me tell you something. They're going to talk about you whether you do it or not. So you might as well show up authentically. Let me say that again to somebody who needs to hear it. They're going to talk about you whether you do it or not. So you might as well show up authentically as you are, as God made you. That silly, crazy, loud, bold, wild, sexy, can I say that again? Sexy person that you are. And I speak to myself just like I speak to you. Let me tell you one thing about my client. I have a client, you guys. She grew up in the church, super religious, parents were religious, family religious, all the above. Grew up in the church and got married early. And she came to me and just talked to me about how some things in her marriage wasn't working out. Like the sex appeal, the fire wasn't quite hitting like it used to, right? They've been married for 22 years. So, been married 22 years. The fire's not quite given. It's not quite given. You're wondering where it's at. The fire done ran out, right? You're wondering what's going on. She also was in leadership in her church, right? So she plays a leadership role in church. And I know I'm talking to somebody that's going to see this, and it's for you too. She was filling her role, providing that role in church, leadership, all the above, heavily anointed, heavily gifted, heavily spiritual, all the above, holding that expectation high in church. But then when it came to being the wife, the sexy, fun, energetic wife that her husband married because she was that sexy, fun, energetic wife, it was like she wasn't able to turn that on because she had been so high on this expectation of being godly, being anointed, being all the above, that she was shutting off this whole side of her. And the first thing I said to her is like, we're humans. We crave intimacy. Sex was made by God. Why would we not crave that? Why would we not want that, right? It's natural. It's natural to be a wife who is heavily anointed, spiritual, in leadership in your church, and also to be a woman who is sexy and fine and feminine and all the above and crazy, sexy, cool with your husband in the bedroom, with your husband. Baby, if you can't be sexy, fine, and cool and sexy and feminine with your husband, who can you be that with? But she had to work through some things. And so if that's for you, if this message is for you, I don't want you to feel like you got to be one way in the church and another way when I get home and another way when I go to my job and another way when I'm with my kids and another way. But you should simply just show up and be. Just be. Just be you. Be you. All the different aspects of you. All the different sides of you. Because that's you being authentic is how you attract others who are authentic as well. You attract the people who are supposed to be in your tribe. You attract, I don't know about you guys, but being an adult and learning how to network and be around people and all the above as an adult can be tiring. It can be exhausting. But what makes it easier is being authentic to who I am. Showing up and being Brittany first and foremost. And walking in there and realizing, oh, you're not who I want to. Okay, I don't want to connect with you. It looks like you. Okay, I feel your energy. Yeah, you might be it. But it's because I'm showing up, right? And people automatically come to me because I show up as me. Hey, V, because I'm showing up as me. V, I just got done talking about Gwinnett County Schools, girl. You missed the whole segment on it. Run the playback. But listen, God shows up for who you truly are. Be sexy, be anointed, be beautiful, be silly, be loud, bold, wild, be all those different things, all those different parts of you. All the different parts of you. Show up as you. Stop the code switching. Stop the, oh, I got to be this certain way because this is my church family over here and they don't quite know me like that. Baby, be you. Those who still know you and understand that we are all works in progress. We are all works in progress. None of us are perfect. We all got something to work on according to God and according to personal development. And it's okay. It's all right. Those who still stand by you as you show who you truly are and as you show up as you're supposed to be authentically will stick by you all the way up. Those are your true people. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want nobody who's with me when I'm faking the funk. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Y'all might be cool with it. But listen, I am at an age, my big old age of 35, where I don't want nobody who is not part of my tribe, who I do not connect with spiritually, who I do not sit well with, who do not have the same morals and values, who do not walk this walk like I walk this walk and talk this talk like I talk this talk. I don't want nobody like that in my corner. And if being the true me is going to repel those people who I don't want in my corner, then baby, I want to show up as me every single given moment. What GCPS do to you? Girl, I just explained that, like, having to show up in a different way and having the code switch when I worked for Gwinnett County public school system. I felt like I had to code switch a lot and it was a lot of energy and I was exhausted at the end of the day. So that's what I spoke about, V. But listen, you guys, if this is something that you are struggling with being your authentic self, then it's that time to book my link. It's that time to book your consultation. This is your fierce and fabulous consultation. Book it. Book it. You deserve to be fierce and fabulous and show up and be you and be authentic. What did I say before? I'm going to keep saying it. God shows up for who we truly are, not who we pretend to be. Stop pretending. Stop faking the funk. Be authentic to who you are. Show up as you each and every day. Show up and recognize that there's balance. Yes, you can be heavily anointed and sexy. Hello. My name is Brittany Wilder. How are you? Yes, you can show up and be silly and still be about your business and still be a businesswoman and still be loud and proud and bold and wild and still be about your business at the end of the day. It's called balance, baby. It's called we have several different sides of us. It's called this is who I truly am. It's called this is who God made me. So baby, here you have it. I'm going to give you exactly who God made me to be. Because that's just who I am, right? I wish nothing but that for everybody to feel like they can show up and be authentic to who they are in every environment that they're in. That's my wish for you. That's my prayer for you, is that you feel like you can just show up and just be and be comfortable and recognize and feel how much peace you get from just being you and not holding back these different sides of you. Not even holding it back, but just showing up and being authentic to who you are. Okay, y'all, listen. Like I said, if you're struggling with this, it's time for a consultation. Let's go. Let me show you how I did it. Let me show you. Let me show you how I repel the fake folk. Because, baby, I don't want nobody fake around me. I'm not fake to you. Please don't be fake around me. Goodbye. Gotta go. Let me show you how I do it. Book your consultation. Also, if you have not gotten your book, you're not pre-ordered yet, listen, I'm going to shut these pre-orders down soon. Orders are coming in back to back to back to back to back. I'm going to have to shut it down, y'all. I'm going to have to shut it down soon. Hurry up and pre-order your book, Bolder.Better.Wilder. That book releases on June 22nd. You coming out to celebrate with me. Let's go. Get your pre-order in now so I can sign your book, autograph it, give you a little message, love on you, hug on you, all the above. I love you guys. Like I said, if you're struggling with showing up, being authentic to you, being sexy and anointed and all the, listen, I always throw out my aspects, and all of my different sides of me. But if you are whoever you are and you're not feeling comfortable with being all those different sides of you all together in one environment, it's that time. Book that link. I love you guys, and I will be on tomorrow to talk to you guys again. And also next week on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, because it is a Bolder, Better, Wilder Tuesday. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, y'all.